We do it by embracing freedom and liberty. There may be no such thing as a free lunch, but this hour is as close as it gets. Welcome to A Free Solution.
Hey, it's Larry Sharp. I am so happy that you are with me this afternoon here on A Free Solution. I know you're saying, hey, aren't you the guy from the Sharp Way? I am, but I'm here with you today. WYSL in Rochester, New York, WACK in Newark, New York, on A Free Solution. So happy to have you with me today. And if you want to reach out to me, you can. 585-346-3000. You know, I was thinking about parenting. Yes, parenting. And my wife and I have two kids, now a bit older, not babies anymore. And we would sometimes disagree on things to say to them, how to talk to them, things like that. And one of the things is asking them what they want, and then when they say the thing that we don't want, telling them no. And that always drove me crazy. Don't give me a choice or give me a choice. Either one. Don't pretend to give me a choice and then not, right? That part really bothers me. So I say to you, I go, so do you want chocolate or vanilla? And you go, vanilla. No, I have chocolate. Well, then just tell me there's only chocolate. Or tell me I'm getting chocolate or I'm getting nothing. That's the choice too, chocolate or nothing. Fine. Now, I may not like chocolate, and maybe I want vanilla. I actually like chocolate. But for the sake of argument, I don't like chocolate in this case. Fine, then I have nothing. But even that I chose. I chose nothing. It's still, I don't get any ice cream, but I feel better about it. The idea of asking people and pretending to give them choice and then not, I think is terrible for kids, but also terrible for adults. Just be honest, even if it's bad. There are times in our life, and I'm sure you listening, you watching, you've had this happen to you, when you can't make things good, but you can sometimes make them less bad. And you think sometimes to yourself, why bother? Less bad isn't good enough. Less bad is good enough. It's better than bad. So sometimes less bad is two honest but crappy choices versus lying, and when they pick the good one, you got to tell them no. Why would I bring this up? Larry, you're storytelling again. I am. It's true. It's kind of my thing. But I'm bringing this up because that's how I often feel government treats us. They pretend like it's a choice when they know it's not. They act like it matters when they know it doesn't. The best example I can give you is when there's something's happening locally in your area and they say it's open for public comment. I like that one, public comment. Or now recently, school boards, same idea. Come on out, tell us what you feel. Then we come out, say what we feel, and what we feel is don't do the thing, whatever the thing is. Don't do it. And they go, thank you so much for your input. We're doing the thing. Well, then why did you ask me? Why did you act like I had a choice? Because now I matter. I would have rather you just go, don't bother showing up because we're not changing a thing. We are doing exactly what we said. Doesn't matter what you say. If you just will feel better by yelling at us, you can come yell because you'll feel better, but we're changing nothing. At least if they said that, I would still be upset, but I'd be less upset because then I would know I have to change the system. It doesn't matter me trying to convince some guy or some gal behind the desk. It's irrelevant unless I just want to feel better because I'm going to yell at somebody. And if I do that, at least I know that's what I'm doing, right? I know it means nothing, but I'm just pissed. So I'm going to go yell at some people so I can sleep better tonight. Okay. This is what happens constantly. When it comes to local issues, local people actually have no say. But we get the go talk to the school board or go talk to the commission. And we do. And we come up with PowerPoints and we bring our friends and we clap at the end of it. All of that stuff. And we go, yeah, this is like a movie. Now I showed up and I've convinced all of the people there and they're now not going to do the thing. And they do the thing and don't care what I said. And then they wonder, why are they so pissed off? Because you're doing the kid thing. You're treating us like kids. You're saying, do you want vanilla or chocolate? I want vanilla. Oh, you get a chocolate. Well, then just tell me. Now I know I got to change the system. As they treat us like children, then we act like petulant children. Then they get angry at us for doing it when they set us up. And then when we want to change the system, they say, you can't change the system. It's a glorious system. Everything is perfect. We're the government. In fact, we'll bring cops in if we have to. Wow. That sounds like a jerk parent to me, who will pretend like you have choice, not give you choice, after they pretend you had it. Don't get me wrong. You don't have to give your kid choice. That you parent as you see fit. I'm saying it's messed up to pretend they have choice when they don't have choice. If I'm just giving my kid chocolate ice cream and that's all they're getting or nothing, then I just say it. Maybe I don't have the cash to buy 2 types of ice cream. So you're getting one or nothing. That's fine. It's messed up if I act like it's choice when there's not. And that's the issue that I keep seeing again and again and again. But it goes deeper. It isn't just things like localism. It is, and you hear me preach about that all the time. And you go, but Larry, what about NIMBYism? Not in my backyard. It's their backyard. So how about instead of forcing them to do it, you give them a reason to want it? And then maybe they would do it if you gave them a reason to want it versus trying to force it down their throats. You can get rid of NIMBYism by giving people what they want or giving them a reason to want it. So I understand completely that a lot of people in, say, New York City don't want a nuclear power plant in Brooklyn. You could call that NIMBYism. I would agree. And they're probably right. Scary. I get it. Expensive. It's middle of Brooklyn. How about North Country? There's a lot of people in North Country who'd be happy to have a nuclear power plant there. NIMBYism goes away. Becomes please in my backyard. Is that PIMBY? Yeah, there we go. It's PIMBY. Please in my backyard. Is PIMBY a thing? It is now. It becomes please in my backyard. Because now you want the jobs here. Now it's cheaper. We get better stuff happening in my area. That's a real choice. And people always feel better or less bad, depending upon what's happening, if you give them some form of respect, which is what choice actually is. Respect. Real choice. Now, why would I ever bring this up? Well, because localism, of course. But it's also because something else. Yes, it is the ballot. It is the election coming up. You guys might have heard, or maybe you didn't, that now the Democrats are considering creating another party, the Fair Deal Party. You would say, wow, that sounds amazing. A new party. Oh, it's not. It's not. It's a new brand name for people who hate Republicans and don't like voting Democrat because the Democratic Party's brand is so broken. I'm not joking. That's a real thing. They're like, wait a minute. The Democratic brand is broken in our state because we've been terrible at governing. But most New Yorkers, about 2 in 1, just hate Republicans. So they don't want to vote for Republican. but they really don't like us either. Oh, we'll make up this party called the Fair Deal Party, and they'll vote for us on that. And then they won't vote Republican, and then they still don't have to vote Democrat, but we get the votes. Yeah, that's actually a thing they were considering. Now, they might not do it now. There's a rumor that they won't do it now because the Working Families Party has decided they'll just support Her Majesty Queen Kathy I. They'll just do that instead. And so then who needs this Fair Deal marketing brand? I mean, party. Yeah, that's where we are. When the brand doesn't work well, we don't fix the party because that takes work. We don't change our policies so that people might want to vote for us. No, that's way too busy. Not doing that. We'll instead write big checks to get signatures to start a new party that does the same thing. Wow. Am I crazy? Have you heard of this? Let me know. 585-346-3000 or pop a comment in the chat on Facebook or on YouTube. Larry Sharp, WYSL, a free solution. Back after the break.
Your business relies on computers and technology to operate. Slow, unreliable networks and servers can cause unplanned downtime and affect your bottom line. The experts at Simple Tech Innovations are here to help. Their preventative maintenance program ensures that your computers and network are kept up to date and monitored for any issues, keeping your business running smoothly. They also help clients achieve HIPAA, PCI, and New York State cybersecurity compliance to keep your network safe and secure. Whatever your business IT needs are, Simple Tech Innovations should be your first call. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Call them today for a free consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. Simple Tech Innovations.
Oh, those injury attorney ads.
Hurt on your couch? Call 555-OUCH.
It's kind of cute watching that injury attorney buying breakfast for a crash test dummy, but while fun is fun, there's nothing amusing about getting your life back together after a personal injury or a motorcycle accident, or when you need defense for a DWI charge. Christopher Johnson takes your case seriously, and you'll feel like you're his only client because when you meet with him, your case gets 100% of his attention. So instead of cute singing jingles and magic phone numbers,
Fall out of a tree? Call 33333.
write this number down and keep it with you. 585-415-3803. 415-3803. After all, Christopher Johnson knows you're no dummy. Get individual attention and integrity, experience, and expertise. Put the power of one on your legal team. 415-3803. Stay safe, be healthy, drive sober. Christopher Johnson Attorney, personal injury, car or motorcycle accidents, DWI defense.
As a veteran of the United States military, I can finally get the opportunity to enjoy special events, things that we couldn't afford, thanks to VetTix.
Every empty seat at a concert, a game, or a play is a missed opportunity to say thanks to a veteran and service member. We can give our veterans a special event where they too can create their own cherished memories. Visit vettix.org. Find out how you can make a difference in a veteran's life.
Only available in the WYSL store at WYSL1040.com. Official top quality tees, hoodies, and coffee mugs depicting the colorful WYSL logo or the already famous Mount Worstmore line of merch depicting Mount Rushmore style are for worst presidents. Of course, you know who is front and center up on that mountain. WYSL official items make perfect gifts, or they're a great way for you to make a personal statement. Locally produced and sold only in the WYSL store at WYSL1040.com.
A free solution.
Yes, it is Larry Sharp here on A Free Solution. Usually host the Sharp Way Show. You might say to yourself, Larry, can I also watch your Sharp Way Show? Yes, you can. You can just follow either Larry Sharp or you can follow Sharp Way on all of the interwebs things. I'm on all of them. That sounds like super boomer, doesn't it? But it kind of is. But today, I am with you, WYSL, Rochester, New York, WACK in Newark, New York. And by the way, that's the cool Newark, by the way. Sorry, Jersey. I say it every time, but we do have the cool Newark. Just how it works. So before the break, I was talking about the New Deal, the Fair Deal Party, and how we don't really have choice. It kind of looks like it, but we don't. Not in our politics, not locally, none of those things. You might go, well, Larry, that seems unfair. You would be right. Absolutely, you would be right. So I think to myself, wait a minute. Won't the courts step in to make this right? I am shocked, and this is true, on how bad our courts are. Surprised. I just assumed that some of them, I don't know, cared about things like voting and stuff. Silly me. But that's what I thought. So when we, as a Libertarian Party, and in case you didn't know, I'm a Libertarian, I wear it on my sleeve. So when we say, hey, this is not fair, we want to make sure that we empower people. There are literally 250,000 New Yorkers who voted third party, if not more, maybe 500,000 total last time. So you have to let us stay on the ballot. And the court said, well, no, that's expensive. So we're just going to keep the top 2 on the ballot. And we're going to make rules to ensure that you can't get on the ballot. We'll just wipe you right off. You don't get to be on. You have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to get on, because that's fair. I'm doing air quotes. So now the New Deal Party, or the Fair Deal Party, wants to come on. And they can just literally write checks. Just say, here's, I'm not joking, $500,000. Please get me a line. People go out and get signatures and give me a new party. And the courts are like, yeah, that's good. That's totally fine. Yeah, no worries. So the Democratic Party, and again, this is open, legal. You can look this up. This actually is happening, or this was happening. It may not now, but it was actually happening. The Democratic Party is going to write checks to get a new party line. And the court's like, yeah, that's totally fair. It's totally fair that the current power structure can simply multiply its brand value because it has lots of money. Totally fair. But you, grassroots people who want to try to push a specific issue or agenda that you care about personally, a political agenda that you care about personally, oh, no, you can't. What's wrong with you? You don't have $500,000 and establishment. How dare you? Now, again, I wish they would just say it. I would still hate it, but at least people would know. If they just passed the law saying, look, unless you're a Democrat or Republican, you may not run in New York State. Now, that's also, in my view, completely unconstitutional, totally bad. But at least they'd be honest. They just say it. No, this is a two-party state. Stop playing around. Don't waste your time. If that actually happened, then at least people would know. And they would go, wait a minute. That doesn't sound right. Maybe I should change that system. That might actually happen. But it's all behind the scenes. And guys like me find out when I try to run how hard it is. Guys like you figure it out when you try to run and not play the game of the top two parties. Then you find out and you can't believe how bad it is. And you walk away. You don't do it again. Or worse, you pack up and you leave. That's the worst. Not only do you quit, you pack up and you leave. And that is our current court system. Our current court system, all those judges have decided, with no problem at all, if you are an establishment party and you can write checks for 6 figures, you can increase your brand on the ballot. We have space on the ballot for Republican and Democrat puppet parties, branding exercises. We got time for that. We got money for that. The Constitution supports that 100%. Oh my God, of course. Oh, but grassroots, Libertarian Party, Green Party, no, we have time for that. Those are grassroots. Those are people who actually have ideas and want to move an agenda forward politically through the system. No. And then don't sue, because no. And don't complain, because shut up. That's what we have now. You might say to yourself, Larry, do I really care? And maybe you don't. Maybe you say, look, I'm a happy Democrat. I'm a happy Republican. I don't care about your dumb parties. Maybe you don't. But don't you think that trickles down directly to what I talked about with localism? Not giving you a real choice, letting you show up at some event to talk to some commission or some school board so you can yell and scream and shake your fist and they can nod their heads and ignore you. It's the same thing. When you accept the oligarchy, when you accept the establishment, you get fake choice. That's how that works. When you accept the establishment, you don't get real choice, you get the illusion of choice. And the worst part about the illusion of choice, it's an illusion. So you don't really know what's wrong. Like you don't really know how to grab it and fix it. But man, you know it's wrong. So when you know it's wrong, but you don't know kind of how to make it better, you get upset. You get angry. You start yelling and screaming. And then people think you're crazy. You're not crazy. You're frustrated. You're upset. You're desperate. People look at you and go, you crazy. So then when the cops come and arrest you, they go, glad we got rid of that guy. You see him? He's crazy. Until it's them. Then they go, wow, that dude wasn't crazy at all. That dude's just me. Just like 6 months ago. It's crazy. Wait a minute. We're all crazy. Yeah, maybe we are. This is why showing up matters. This is why talking about this matters. I don't want you to think that you're crazy, because you're not. Eventually, you're going to get so fed up, you're going to pack up and leave. I don't want that. You do that by giving people honest choice, even when the choices are crappy. Be honest with people. It's better. It still may be bad, but it's better. Honest choice is better than fake choice, an illusion of choice, even if the honest choice are crappy choices. Give it to them. No matter what, it's going to be better. This is what I want us to have in this state, and we do not have it at all. So I know I yapped a bit. I know. Let me grab a couple of comments. There are a couple of comments out here that I want to grab. Liberty Odessa says, I don't want to choose between Republicans and Democrats. Well, I'm not against Republicans and Democrats being on the ballot. I'm not. I just wish that others could be too. And my argument is, what's the harm? Right? If you don't like me being on the ballot, don't vote for me. I mean, that's a mistake. You should vote for me. But you have the option not to. That's my point, right? If you're saying to yourself, I don't want other people on the ballot, you don't believe in your own party or movement. I believe in mine. Do you believe in yours? Let me know. 585-346-3000. Larry Sharp, WYSL. Rochester, New York. WACK. Newark, New York. A Free Solution. Back with your calls and comments after the break.
celebrating 35 years.
WYSL.
AM 1040 Avon Rochester, FM 92.1 Rochester, and FM 95.5 Spencerport.
Here's the latest forecast from the News 10 NBC Weather Center for tonight. We'll see.
All right, we have a caller, Keith from Rochester.
Mixed with a few wet snowflakes.
You're welcome.
Cold tonight into the low to mid 30s on your Wednesday. A cool, blustery day. Mostly cloudy, a few passing rain and wet snow showers in the 30s, low 40s. The wind chill at times in the 20s. Back to some sunshine near 50 on Thursday. I'm Rich Gadelia, WYSL.
Your business relies on computers and technology to operate. Slow, unreliable networks and servers can cause unplanned downtime and affect your bottom line. The experts at Simple Tech Innovations are here to help. Their preventative maintenance program ensures that your computers and network are kept up to date and monitored for any issues, keeping your business running smoothly. They also help clients achieve HIPAA, PCI, and New York State cybersecurity compliance to keep your network safe and secure. Whatever your business IT needs are, Simple Tech Innovation should be your first call. They've won the Best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Call them today for a free consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585.
Sounded like you sneezed. If so, gesundheit.
3182. Simple Tech Innovation.
Oh, no, I heard like a, okay. No, but maybe just shuffling some.
There's a place in the village of Avon you and your critters will love. Whether they're big or small, whether they've got hair, fur, or feathers, Avon Feed fits every need. There's a full selection of pet foods, bird feeders, and wild bird food, plus garden tools, quality grass seed, and a great selection of dry shod boots. Buy 10 bags of quality wild bird food, get the next bag free. Choose farm feeds and great equine products from Poland Grains. Find everything for your pet from feeding bowls to toys, leads, collars, beds, crates, and tie-outs. Avon Feed and Supply has what a big pet chain stores will never have: Tim Cole and his great knowledgeable staff. Choose from premium local products like Firefly, dairy, goat soaps, and lotions. While you're at Avon Feed, don't forget your two-legged pets with River at Thousand Island cheese and great flavors, including the new 12-year-old cheddar, plus Chef James bourbon meat sauce, once again nut butters and Nunday mustards. Open weekdays 9 to 6, Saturday 9 to 4. Avon Feed and Supply, West Main Street at the bottom of the hill, just west of the Circle.
Spring has finally arrived. Better see Victor Chevrolet to get the most out of warmer weather. Get selection and savings. Lease a 2022 Chevy Trailblazer for just $289 a month for 36 months. If you need a pickup, get the versatility of a 2022 Chevy Silverado for just $329 a month for 36 months. The 2022 Chevy Equinox is also $329 a month for 36 months. These lease deals include returning lessee rebate. All factory rebates, incentives, and discounts are applied. Security deposit is waived. 10,000 mile allowance per year, 25 cents each additional mile. Must have lease and household. Tier 1 credit approval required. Lessee responsible for repair and maintenance. Conditions apply. Get details at dealer. Victor Chevrolet has a used selection that can't be beat. Be sure to trust your vehicle to our Chevy Certified Service Department. Victor offers free New York State inspection with any major service. Buy 3 tires, get the 4th one free. Plus $10 off a 4-wheel alignment. Come see how easy it is to do business with us. Find new roads at Victor Chevrolet. Route 96 in Victor. Visit victorchevrolet.com.
Bless you.
Something meaningful to do? As a Camp Good Days volunteer, you'll work with children and adults who will inspire you. Just listen to what one volunteer says about her experience.
It's unlike any other thing that I've ever experienced in my life. I won the lottery 10 times fold. My husband and I plan all year on what we're going to do for these kids.
Learn more about many volunteer opportunities at Camp Good Days and special times on the web at campgooddays.org.
An experienced professional with more than 15 years in dentistry, Dr. David Olivo welcomes new patients to his family practice at 2005 Lyle Avenue. At the office of Dr. Olivo, you'll discover a warm and comforting environment staffed by professionals who are committed to providing the best available dental care while assuring your complete comfort. Call 328-3382 for an appointment. Dr. David Olivo, offering quality dentistry with a gentle touch.
From your friends at GCC, claim your Genesee Promise Plus Summer Tuition Scholarship and earn up to 6 SUNY College credits during GCC's summer sessions, which start May 31st. Call 1-866-CALL-GCC for more information or or go to genesee.edu/promise and apply today. Your time is now.
Lattimore Physical Therapy.
A free solution.
Yes, it is Larry Sharp. I am back here on A Free Solution, WYSL, Rochester, New York, WACK, Newark, New York. And I know what you're saying. Larry, I like this show. I like to watch it and listen to it, not just on Tuesdays, but every day I possibly can. Well, it's okay. Things are changing. Next week, you get it 3 days a week, but not at noon. We're going to change. We're going to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Next week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'll be here Tuesday. But guess what? Tim O'Connor's still around. Yeah, it's true. Kevin Wilson, still around. Craig Miles, you thought you got rid of him? No, we're still here too. The crew is still here Monday through Wednesday. Next week, starting 1 p.m. Life is still good. Life is still good, guys. I'm happy to be here. And I know who else is happy. I have a call. I have Keith from Rochester. How are you, Keith?
I'm okay. Hopefully you are too. So here we go. Our founding fathers were very concerned that political parties right from the beginning would undermine our constitutional republic. They said that each party would have issues with our original documents and thus try and carve them up. So our Constitution has been under attack since at least the 1820s. So if people back then who might have thought of themselves as being truly American were already getting away from a truly constitutional republic of America, if people today are less principled, if we are truly into modernity, and human nature says it's every party for itself, the problem becomes that human nature demands compromise. I'll give you a fast example. The recently deceased moderate conservative Republican senator from Utah, Orrin Hatch.
Oh, yes, he passed recently. Yep.
By example, he supported to the Supreme Court both Ruth Bader Ginsburg and Stephen Breyer. Very bad on Hatch's part. So whereas to say it in general, Republicans feel the need to go along to get along, as always, the Dems are much more in lockstep and they are continuously outflanking us. They never rest, whereas Republicans have shown themselves more than willing to compromise. So to sum this up, I think, even though it's foolish to state it, that parties should come and go much faster. That Orrin Hatch, who served at least 40 years in the Senate, that's not good. Now, someone's going to say, and I'll think of the Republicans taking over from the Whigs. If the Republican Party had been dismantled that quickly, people would have said correctly, well, how can Lincoln and the radical Republicans get their agenda before America, certainly with a civil war looming, if we dismantle the Republican Party that quickly? But human nature takes over, and this is the point I'm making in closing. If you don't get rid of parties quickly, then you get the Orrin Hatches who will throw in the towel and vote in liberals and just not think of good conservative principles. So that's the problem right there. Human nature.
So let me touch those, Keith, if I could. I think your points are valid. And I think we're stuck at a point where we can't just get rid of political parties. I wish we could. So what I would say is, I think our best option now with where we are is to make it super easy to make more parties. And the reason why I say that is, if we make it super easy, obviously a lot of small parties will just come and go and they won't have much impact. That's true. But there are two other things that will happen. A couple of them will begin to explode and become bigger, right? That will just happen over time, right? Whether that's once every 20 parties or one every 30 parties, whatever that number is. And as they begin to grow, generally speaking, they'll replace one of the big ones. Not 100% rule, but often happens. And we'll get that mix and match. Or we'll start having a whole lot of small political parties because of social media and technology, in which case eventually we get so many political parties that the big ones have less and less power. In the perfect world, obviously, Keith, I know where your head is. You'd like to have 330 million political parties in America. Of course you would. But let's get as close to that number as we can get. And I think if we make it easier over time, this is not a quick fix. This is a decades-long fix, if not more, that eventually that begins to happen. But there's also another part to this. If we create very specialized parties, like the one in New York City, some of you may remember, the rent is too damn high party. That party was focused on one thing, the rent's high. If we have a bunch of those smaller parties, when it gets to the actual booth, the voting booth, if those parties get a lot of votes, that will push whoever wins into actually dealing with whatever the people care about. Maybe there's too many potholes party, or rent's too high party, or the property tax is too high party, or whatever. Whatever party gets the most, that will by default shift the big ones. So I'm with you, and I think the only real answer we have now is easier ways of making more parties, and over time we make a shift. Do you think I'm wrong?
In theory, you're right. So in closing, I'll just make this comment to you. I'm conservative, you're libertarian, and I'll give the nod to libertarians that I think you carry the ball insofar as being more popular. So my exact question to you in closing, do you think the two really established parties, the Dems and Republicans, are going to allow, certainly in blue New York State, the libertarians to get any bigger than you are now? And I think you would have to answer that libertarians, even libertarians, and certainly us conservatives even more, but we'll stick with libertarians. You're not going to get fully established. The Dems rule blue New York State, and you're always going to be a lower third party.
Let me cover those. You again, Keith, I'm agreeing with you. Your points are valid points. This is a deep blue state. And sadly for you Republicans or conservatives, Republicans aren't going to win a statewide election. That's a blatant lie. It's not going to happen. The state's just getting bluer, and Republicans haven't won in 20 years. And it doesn't matter how angry people are at, I'm mad at the Democrats, I'm voting Republican. That's not going to happen. But they might vote third party. We see that. Your point's also valid. Am I going to get 51% of the vote? No. Am I going to control 51% of the Senate or the Assembly? No, you are right. But I don't have to. If the Democrats screw up enough to where enough of their people do one of three things: one, stay home; two, hold their nose and vote for Kathy Hochul anyway; but enough do three, which is vote for me, then I can win with literally 30%, 35% of the vote. Now, winning, to your point, doesn't make me control the state. But if enough senators, state senators, swap to become libertarian, we will control the Senate with the swing vote. I could have 5 or 6 senators. I'm not going to have 30, but 5 or 6, and now I control the Senate. And if now I start moving forward with that, people will see how I can move forward, and we can become the swing vote. What the Libertarian Party can become in New York State is it can be a voice for the smaller parties, like the Conservative Party and others. They can become the swing vote to affect the state. That's what I want to happen. I think you're right. The odds of me controlling the state and 51% being libertarian, I think are really slim. Like something crazy's got to happen. But can we make it to where we actually affect it and control the Senate with swing vote? Yes, that can actually happen. And here's the best part of it all. With a strong Libertarian Party, even at just 15%, you will have better Republicans and better Democrats, because they'll have to act to get that 15%, or they'll lose their power. So that 15% will be powerful. I'll go one step further. If the Democrat wins, which is the odds are high, obviously, it's a 3-1 Democrat to Republican state, you're correct, and the Republican comes in second, what changes? Nothing. You've thrown your vote away. You're doing getting the same thing you almost got. But if Democrat wins and Libertarian comes in second, literally election law has to change. This state will become a multi-party democracy overnight. Right now, it's officially a two-party democracy, but in reality, it's a single-party democracy. But we would become a multi-party democracy overnight. You will get impact if I come in second. I come in third, people talk to me. I talk about my issues. I have to move people forward. You will get change if I just do well. If I actually win this thing, Kathy Hochul screws up, Republicans get smart and stop voting for Republicans, stop voting for me. Conservatives get smart, stop voting for conservatives, I'm doing air quotes, and vote for me. And then pissed off Democrats get smart and vote for me. If that happens and I get my 35% and I win, the entire country changes overnight. That's what I care about. That's what matters. So your point's valid. It's not going to be easy. That's why I'm out there getting signatures. That's why I'm on the radio talking to you. That's why I've quit my job so I can run for office. That's why I'm doing it, because it is hard. But if it happens, the payoff is massive. Keith, thank you so much for your call. Guys, I'm here on A Free Solution, WYSL, Rochester, New York, WACK, Newark, New York, 585-346-3000. Back with your chat. The chat's active. I will take care of your comments when we come back from the break.
The WYSL store is now open. With nicer weather, your car needs an official Voice of Liberty bumper sticker. There's a great selection to help you show your love of God, the Constitution, and free and safe schools. Here are just a few available. Shut Up, Fauci, Kathy Hochul, Save America, Support the Second Amendment, Scam Alert, January 6th, God, Please Help Us, Close the Mexican Border, Save America, Stop Voting for Democrats. And there are gas pump stickers reading, Democrats did this. These are standard weather-resistant bumper stickers guaranteed to get you horn honks and thumbs up in traffic. Choose from other locally made WYSL Voice of Liberty merch too, like tees, hoodies, drinkware, and more. Perfect gifts for any Liberty lover. Check out the exclusive WYSL Mount Worstmore shirts, hoodies, and coffee mugs depicting our 4 worst presidents. Guess who's front and center? Shop the WYSL store at WYSL1040.com.
Why do businesses choose to move their website from Wix and Squarespace to SimpleTech Innovations? Maybe it's their excellent customer service or attention to detail. Maybe it's their ability to give a truly customized solution. Or perhaps they just like the fact that SimpleTech is a local small business that builds great relationships with its clients. Whatever the reason may be, you can rest assured knowing that the local team at SimpleTech has your best interest in mind when building or updating your website. They're hands-on and love helping customers achieve their goals. But don't take my word for it. They've won the best in Rochester 8 years in a row and have an A+ Better Business Bureau rating. If your website doesn't match your dreams or isn't achieving your goals, give the professionals at SimpleTech Innovations a call today for a consultation at 585-200-3182. That's 585-200-3182. SimpleTech Innovations.
There's a place in the village of Avon you and your critters will love. Whether they're big or small, whether they've got hair, fur, or feathers, Avon Feed fits every need. There's a full selection of pet foods, bird feeders, and wild bird food, plus garden tools, quality grass seed, and a great selection of dry shod boots. Buy 10 bags of quality wild bird food, get the next bag free. Choose farm feeds and great equine products from Poland Grains. Find everything for your pet from feeding bowls to toys, leads, collars, beds, crates, and tie-outs. Avon Feed and Supply has what the big pet chain stores will never have: Tim Cole and his great knowledgeable staff. Choose from premium local products like Firefly, dairy, goat soaps, and lotions. While you're at Avon Feed, don't forget your 2-legged pets with River at Thousand Island cheese and great flavors, including the new 12-year-old cheddar, plus Chef James bourbon meat sauce, once again nut butters and Nunday mustards. Open weekdays 9 to 6, Saturday 9 to 4. Avon Feed and Supply, West Main Street at the bottom of the hill, just west of the Circle.
A free solution.
Yes, Larry Sharp. I am here, host of the Sharp Way Show. And of course, you know me. If you want to see what I'm doing as I cross New York State, head over to LarrySharp.com. If you'd like some cool Larry Sharp merch, you can get some. You can get a t-shirt. You can get a lawn sign, whatever you like. LarrySharp.com/shop. Enjoy that if you want to. Right now, WYSL, Rochester, New York, WACK, Newark, New York, here at noon to 1. But next week, no. Next week, you've changed to make it bigger, badder, stronger. 1 p.m. Eastern, for those of you who listen outside of the Eastern time zone, because we are so super popular that we have that. Don't forget, 1 p.m. Eastern next week. Cool change, only for cool people. So I do want to add I'll talk about some of your comments. A bunch of them came in. Gene says, oh, Larry, you just gave me hope. There is hope. We can make things happen, right? It can work here. And if it does happen, it changes everything. The payout is huge. James asks, how was the turnout at the state fair? I was at the fairgrounds last weekend, meeting with my people, getting signatures at the gun show, the antique gun show. It was a great turnout. We got hundreds of signatures, met people, and people remember me. People know in New York State, if you are a gun owner, that the only party that cares about gun rights at all is the Libertarian Party. The Republicans do not care. The Republicans do talk a good game. That's nice. They do talk. They don't do anything. The lawsuits, all run by libertarians, trying to get people, get their gun rights back. All libertarians. The only person who ever had a plan to get rid of red flag laws and the SAFE Act, that's me. Republicans talk trash. They say things like, soon as I get into office, I'm going to sign the repeal. What repeal? This state's not repealing the SAFE Act right now. It's a 2-year process to make that actually happen that I talk about, that I had a plan since 2018. And if New York State gun owners had pulled their head out of their derrieres and voted for me in 2018 and made me governor, by now we wouldn't have a SAFE Act anymore. We wouldn't have red flag laws anymore. We'd actually be able, to carry your pistol and not go to jail if you walk into New York City. You'd have that. But they either didn't vote or they were silly and voted Republican, hoping they'll protect us. That was silly. But anyway, many people did know who I was, and that was good. I was like semi-famous. It's kind of nice. So thank you for asking. I appreciate that. So yeah, we did very well. We did very well. So Lane says the Republican Party have been silent far and large. They're not on our side. I want to be clear on this. It's not the Republican voters. Many of them, and I meet them all the time, many Republican and conservative, though they don't always overlap, but they often overlap. They're just fed up. They just don't believe things can change. And so many of them are just waiting for something to happen, like they retire, or their kid graduates from school, or their elderly parent passes away. Then they're going to leave. So to be forward, Elaine, the actual Republicans and conservatives in this state, they're silent because they've given up. They're like, that's not going to work. Who cares? Keith's points, they were valid points. I wish Keith was wrong. He's not, though. So that's a problem. My issue is with the Republican establishment not making the appropriate changes to make anything happen. They don't have any, and they don't have any plans, nothing new, same old garbage, Democrats bad, and lying to their people, acting like they're going to win, taking their money when they know there's no chance of them winning a statewide election. I want to be clear. Republicans win locally all the time and often fight locally all the time. That's a real thing. If you are Republican or conservative and you want to vote for your Republican and conservative locally, I understand why you would do so. Statewide, you are literally throwing your vote in the garbage. And they know that. And that's the worst part. This goes back to my earlier point. This is a lie. Republican establishment saying, this is our year. We're going to win. No, you're not. That's not going to happen. But Larry, you're not going to win. Great. If I come in second, there's still massive change. If they come in second, it's the same thing. They've been coming in second for 20 years. Are you happy with how this state's been going for 20 years? If you are happy, I don't know why you're listening. If you are happy, and if you are happy, just vote the same way because you're happy with what's happening. Either you're very wealthy or very lucky or delusional, any of those things, and that's fine. Then vote Democrat or Republican. You'll get what you want. So what I'm saying here, Elaine, is it's the establishment Republican Party that I'm unhappy with. The individual voter has just been beat up so much. Me too. I mean, I began to run because I was thinking about leaving. That's the whole point. So, yes, I appreciate what you're saying, 100%. So, Kim says, good afternoon from the Big Rotten Apple. That's where I am, Kim, where Mayor Adams thinks that 171 million and a few cots to sleep on will service the people living on our streets. We get kicked out of these facilities to roam the streets all day. For $171 million, we have to do better. Yeah, 100%. The Democrats don't have to have actual answers either. They just have bad ideas, which is why you hear me say all the time, in New York State, the Democratic Party is the party of bad ideas, and the Republican Party is the party of no ideas. I'm the only one giving you actual ideas on how to fix things. And if you don't like my idea, I don't decide to yell at you. I don't decide to cancel you. What I do instead is talk to you. And those of you who've joined my policy team, and those of you who see me literally do live shows, I change my mind. I have people talk to me. I have a lot of people talking and giving me good answers. That's what I want. Of course. Thomas says, it's awesome when you figure out that being libertarian is being loving. Acting out of love for all humans, including yourself. Keep loving, Larry. Thank you so much. Thomas, that's correct. And I know people say all the time, Larry, you libertarians are selfish. I hear it literally every week. You guys want old people to die in the streets. You guys want the poor people, whatever. That's happening now. And we're not in charge. It's happening now. And the only people giving you answers to solve these are libertarians. Literally, in New York City, old people are being stabbed to death, hit over the head with a hammer, pushed in front of trains. The homeless people are dying in the streets, being kicked out into the cold. Well, not so cold now, but when it was cold.
1 minute.
All that was happening already without us being in charge. Why don't you give us a shot? The worst we can be is as bad as them. That's as worst we can be. We can't be worse than that. It's already happening. But I'm talking about ways to get community and family to stay together and help. That's the key. Localizing community, supporting community. Not getting rid of government yet. Got to have something in that background in case things fail. But then begin to build up your communities and your families with better communities and better, stronger families. We won't need so much government. That's the key. And I would ask you, who was talking about that? Nobody but me. That's a solution, and a free solution. I will see you all very soon. Thank you so much for being a part of your afternoon. I'll see you next week.